You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After Review. I'm your host, Peter, and joining me this week is my man, Scott. Scott, how's it going? I got to give you a little bit of praise. Mr. Baseball over here. You must be feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. If anyone tuned into the old pod back in, I guess, early, was it
July when baseball started.
I picked the ALCS and the NLCS correctly, as well as the World Series. So, I guess I'm just the man. But
you did get a little help there with the expanded playoff we were not aware of at the time.
I mean, that doesn't need to be talked about. That's not a big issue. But yeah, I'm up here in Arlington. Unfortunately, not at all the World Series games like I'd like to be, but up here doing some flight training and just watching some good baseball. It's been a great World Series so far, so we'll see how it goes for this Game 6 coming up tomorrow.
I know. So Dodgers have the 3-2 series lead, and I was so surprised they won Game 5 last night because I guess we need to talk about Game 4. That may have been the best World Series game I've seen in a long time. That game was unbelievable.
I think besides that Astros-Dodgers World Series game, I'm not sure what the score was, but it just went homer after homer after homer in that game. But that game a few nights ago was pretty unbelible. I think it was like 8. I think there was 8 half innings in a row.
Yeah, 8. I think it was 7 or 8.
Run scored.
Yeah, 7 or 8 half innings with a run scored.
Yeah, it was just lead change after lead change, and then once you think that the Dodgers have it, Kenley Jansen decides to be Kenley Jansen, and blow the game. That
play at the end of the game, and I can't believe it. So first, the center fielder boots it because Bellinger can't play center because he's had the tight back, so he was DHing that night. And then Taylor just missed the ball, and it was hilarious. So Rosarena face plants rounding third, basically going home, and so he's dead at the plate, and we're going to extras. And then I just love that image is going to be there forever. He just dives headfirst, barely gets to the plate, and is just smacking the plate because he won the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so crazy. But again, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
It was also. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just kind of cool seeing Brett Phillips get it done too, because he's a guy. He's a guy he's been around Rock the last couple of years, visiting with Colorado Springs and Omaha, so I had to, I worked with him a little bit, so it was kind of cool seeing him come up from AAA back in the day and come through, be the hero in a World Series game. So I was really happy for him.
And a guy who was left off the ALCS roster and had 2 strikes and looked totally like there was no way I thought he was getting a hit right there at that point with 2 strikes.
And it was actually really funny. I was showing my roommate I was telling him how goofy he is and like his laugh and stuff. I don't know if anyone's watched the video of him laughing. Very interesting character. I was like, this guy is goofy as hell. And then literally the next pitch, boom, single, and he wins the game for the Rays. So it was a really cool game. My mouth was on the ground, my jaw was on the ground. So that was really, really cool.
We need more baseball like that, and God, there's nothing that beats playoff baseball, honestly. And the only thing you're missing is a packed house where that thing's. Imagine if that game was in Tampa, like it would have been. That would have been insane. Yeah. I mean,
that would have been wild.
That's the only thing we're really missing here. But like I said, major kudos to the Dodgers because I thought they were toast after losing a game like that, and you have Clayton Kershaw on the bump, and it was like, is this his moment where Kershaw just he shakes the doubt, I was so worried for him. I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. He pitched great in Game 1. They took care of business, and I was like, oh God, I see him getting shelled right here, and the Clayton Kershaw narrative sticks.
Yeah, I feel like the game last night, I feel like boiled down more to Tyler Glasnow being sharp, because I know in Game 1 I think he walked 6. And obviously the game before last night, Game 4 was a bullpen game, so it was all Glasnow's game. It was all him. If he wasn't sharp, then they were not going to win.
They were dead. So. They were totally out of pen after Game 4, so he had to go 100.
Yeah, I think he went 5.
Yeah, I was expecting 100 pitches. I was expecting 100 pitches out of him, and I mean he didn't pitch bad. What did he get? He gave up 4. Did he give up the home run to Muncy?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so
No,
he
maybe he didn't.
maybe
No, I don't think
he
did,
he gave
actually.
up three, or he gave up three then. So he gave you a good showing, and they got two off of Kershaw, and it looked like Kershaw was in real trouble when they had they have Margot on third with nobody out, and then he gets thrown out at trying to steal home to end the inning, which was another ridiculously insane play. I mean,
I loved it though.
you like the
Loved
call?
every bit of it.
I think
Love the call.
I get it. You could have so many things go wrong there. You could have Kershaw balk. You could have him just, how many times you see the pitcher just airmail the ball when he's panicking.
Yep.
I don't think he had a great slide, I think. I think he went a little too much for the hook slide. I think if he had went inside of the plate, I think he could have got it. You
You have to give credit to Kershaw with the snap throw. He's done that before. He did that, I think, last 2 years ago in the World Series. When Carlos Gomez tried to steal home, and he did the exact same thing. Still, stepped off with his left foot and just snapped through it back home and got him out too. So he's done that before, and that was really, really athletic and quick. I didn't think that Kershaw had that in him. That was pretty impressive. But you don't see that. I mean, obviously pitchers don't see that very often. Anyone stealing home, and to be able to react that quickly
and
was really impressive.
Was it Muncy? I think Muncy had the call out that he was running. He was the only one that saw he was running.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were totally on top of that, and that kind of swung the game kind of back into the Dodgers' favor, because then they hit the home run the next inning to make it 4-2, and they kind of cruised. The bullpen looked good again. I mean, I thought it was I couldn't believe they were relying on the bullpen again, and they kind of shut the door on them.
Well, what happens when you stick Kenley Jansen in the pen, leave him there all night?
Just don't pitch Kenley.
Don't put him out there.
Hilarious. The team with the highest payroll in baseball can't find a bullpen at all.
Yeah,
at all. They
had Blake Trinan go last night, so I mean he was
fine.
He was an all-star closer 2 years ago at the A's. So,
but again,
they have guys, but
when you play for the Dodgers, I guess you just don't know how to close games.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about.
So, I mean, they had the off day today. They got Game 6 Tuesday night. I'm not sure I like this move by the Dodgers in Game 6. They're pitching Tony Gonsolin again.
Yeah,
against Snell. I would have thrown Walker Buehler, I think, and tried to end this thing.
That would have been, what 3 days rest?
No, it would have been 4 days rest. They had the off day.
Oh, okay.
And so he's going to be pitching on 5 days rest in Game 7, which, again, if you blow this game, I don't want to say, if you lose Game 6, you have your ace on the bump for Game 7. But
against Chuck.
Do you really want to face Chucky Morton in a Game 7? Have you seen his numbers in Game 7s? They're insane.
I think he's 5-0, 4-0.
He's now 5. I know
lost.
Before going into the Astros game, he was 4-0 with a .65 ERA.
Yeah, that's absurd. I guess that's why you keep Walker Buehler, and
just in case.
In the dugout. Yeah, just in case they, end up losing the game tomorrow. But they also pitched Dustin May last night too. So Gonsolin might have to go more than he needs to, or more than he wants to.
And
he'll have to go 4 innings. So
he only went 4 outs.
Pretty interesting.
He only went 4 outs in Game 2. I think you're giving the Rays a free win right here, which you don't love to see, because the last thing that the Rays team need is any momentum going forward. But again, you got to trust your ace at that point in Game 7, and yeah, you don't want to face That's I guess I'm okay with it, because you don't want to have a bullpen game when you're facing Chucky, because Chucky's going to give you 6 or 7 probably of just nothing. So I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I'm hoping they win, because that's kind of what I predicted back in July was a Dodgers winning 6. So
you need this. You need more credit, to your name.
Yeah, I need some more credit.
Be the baseball god.
Exactly.
I don't know if I could live with myself after that.
Let's not talk about our our MVP and.
Hey man, my MVP's making a strong push for a World Series MVP though, or at least he was.
Yeah.
Mookie's looked strong over there. How about Rosarena? What is going on with him right now? This might be the best postseason I've ever seen.
He's just locked in. I mean, I remember him also in AAA with Memphis. He tore us apart. I knew he was a good player, but I guess the Cardinals just gave up on him and they traded him away, and he found a good place to land. And when you have a guy named like Kevin Cash as your manager, it helps. Get you locked in, and he was definitely locked in from after he got done with his COVID.
It's like a freaking beach ball out there. And again, I do think, and he's broken every record essentially for rookies in a postseason. He's broken the single postseason home runs now, more games now than there have been in the past. I think it's really interesting. Not a full season. Nobody saw this kid. So say any other rookie coming forward, maybe going to get 100 games in the bigs, if you're a stud, your rookie year. People are going to have a little bit of stuff on you. There's probably not much on this guy. And throughout the playoffs, you're not making adjustments. Nobody's seen him. And you can't miss. I mean, he just doesn't miss pitches over the plate. You basically can't throw him strikes.
No, he doesn't. It's
and if you miss a little bit, it's a home run or a double.
Yeah, he's been super impressive. That whole lineup's been really impressive. I mean, they typically don't win games with their hitting, but they've won a few games with their hitting. It's mostly just been their pitching. But,
they're so frustrating. They frustrate the shit out of me and teams, I'm sure. They're the team that goes, 4 hits, 4 runs. It's like, oh my God, that's so annoying to deal with. And you'll lose a game 4-3, and you had 9 hits and 3 runs, and it's like, they don't just hit. They hit together, and they only hit together.
And I guarantee you the casual baseball fan cannot name a single Tampa Bay Ray.
I mean, that's probably factual.
Not a chance, which is pretty incredible. You got like Brandon Lau and G-Man Choi. Like
G-Man Choi, ex-Yankee. My dad hates him so much. But he's funny. He goes, that fat fuck. I can't stand him. Doing the splits over there at first base.
Hey, you got guys like that on that team, and they're in the World Series and they're competing, so it's pretty damn cool. Yeah, good. It's been a good little run for them. I think I like you said, I'm kind of pulling for the Dodgers at this point. It would be nice to see them to finally get it. And Kershaw, if they win, Kershaw finally gets the monkey off his back because he's been he's been great in both his starts, and that really pushes you forward. So a little sad Dave Roberts couldn't give him that quality start yesterday. They pulled him after 5 2/3. Kershaw said he knew that was the plan. They knew where it was. The plan was somewhere in the 6th, he said. So, again, but Dave Roberts is a terrible manager. We know that. Yeah, clearly. I love that it was the cut in game 4 when they lost it. His just like face and reaction when they like missed the ball and they lost the game. He was just like I'm like, oh my God, because he knows, because they were questioning bringing in Jansen because I forget who was pitching before them, but he was cruising, and I was like, do you really bring in Jansen here? It's always one of those things. Like, whatever the move is, Dave Roberts is going to make the wrong one. Yep. So, I did love to see that, but I do think they deserve some just desserts. They lost 2 World Series to 2 teams that cheated, and so they're probably owed one down the road. Because, again, everyone bangs on the Astros. Nobody talks about the Red Sox. Like, what? Did the Red Sox really cheat, though? Yeah, or did the manager just cheat when he was on the Astros? I mean, I don't know. How else do you explain a team win the World Series and then the next 2 seasons be last in the division? Be dead last. Yeah, yes, and I mean, I don't know how you explain that one, especially with they had essentially the exact same team in 2019 that they had in 2018 that won the World Series. Easily won the World Series in 2018. So, cheaters. Yep. There have been some things going behind the sne's here. Lots of trash cans and stuff, but like I said, Dodgers 0-1, so I think we're feeling good about that. You want to talk some football? Let's talk some football. Let's see. Do we want to just shit on the Cowboys? We could just shit on the Cowboys if you want. I think that always sells. Yeah. Man. Well, I was at Cody Jones's house yesterday watching football. We got back from playing a little round of golf, and literally the first play when we get back is seeing Andy Dalton's face to die in the ground, and he's dead. I'm like, well, here we go. Cowboys football for you. They were already dead at that point, but then they were dead when Andy went down. Cheap at I hate that hit. I had some Cowboy fans complaining like, man, that's like the dirtiest hit I've ever seen. I was like, dude, I see defensive player do that every game, every week. Like when a quarterback's sliding, they'll just dive at him. He just landed it real clean. Mm-hmm. He caught him clean as you could get. But good on. Yeah. I think they got to fire everybody, right? Just blow it up,
Start over?
Yeah, McCarthy can't stick around. You got to get him out of there. Obviously, there's some dysfunction going on behind the scenes there.
I think they need to fire the players,
they have no
too.
idea what they're doing.
They got to fire the players,
there's
too.
definitely some bad players. But, I mean, when you don't have Dak, too, that's kind of tough. But, I mean, he didn't have much to work with. He has all the weapons in the world, and he still is getting pounded in the ground. And, you know, their O-line, I think.
Defense can't stop him. One starter. One starter left, and it's Connor Williams, who's trash.
Yeah.
And
but,
defense can't stop a nosebleed, and they're making Jalen Smith and DeMarcus Lawrence got paid on that defense, and they can't stop a nosebleed. It's pathetic, but hey, good for a football team. I was very hyped for a football team.
Yeah,
my favorite.
Good for the football team. Kyle Allen. There you go.
The thanks to Gig'em. That was nice not having an Aggie game to stress about this week.
Well, I didn't mind watching the game last week. They played. I mean, the score was 28-14, but I think they played better than 28-14.
They did,
they had that
pick six. The response to that
and
was the difference in everything. Because I've seen us lose that game before. Like, we throw the most absurd pick six I've ever seen, and then we'd go 3 and out, and now it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, now they're back in the game, but no, they responded great, and it could have been more like 35-0. I don't think Mississippi State should have scored at all. So I think they played pretty well. Kellen Mond didn't have. I mean, they pretty much took the ball out of Kellen Mond's hand, which is great.
Fine if we can run the ball.
Make sure, if we can run the ball, we'll be in good shape. But just keep the ball out of Kellen's hands. Because
hey, sometimes he can make a throw, and it's okay.
Well, I've talked about this before. He does not know how to improvise. If anything is going wrong, he panics and then just makes a terrible throw or just goes with the first read. And that's why we can never win a big game, because we're playing teams that know that.
But we did win a big game this year. He did make plays.
We did.
We did.
Which
is so weird for a guy who can run, though, right? It's a guy. Kellen Mond is not slow by any stretch of the imagination, and he is very athletic. You would think a guy like that would be able to create something, maybe run for a couple first downs.
I feel like Jimbo calls plays pretty much just to have Kellen Mond do what Jimbo's saying. He just doesn't. There's no reading. There's no, okay, let's make the best throw out of this play. It's literally, okay, Kellen, hike the ball, throw to that guy. And if he's not open, good luck.
Good.
That's pretty much how it's been.
To be fair, not many guys you're throwing the ball to that you can actually even trust to catch the ball.
That is very fair as well.
Who knows with that team? But I know I was looking at the schedule and I was like, oh, I'm sick. We really should run the table. And a one-loss SEC team to undefeated Bama, we're probably going to get into the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a frightening possibility for me to process over there. But did you see the Indiana? Did you see the Indiana Penn State game?
I did.
I
was watching it. The last. It was the last 2 minutes of the game. I turned it on.
Oh,
this could be an interesting one. And then once again, literally the next play that happened was that Penn State running back looking around and nobody was around him. Okay, I'll run in the end zone for a touchdown. That was the biggest mistake of the game.
I turned that on in the third quarter because Bear, of course, snapped me. He goes, look at the Big Ten. He goes, I know it's early, but look at the Penn State score. And Indiana was up 21-7, I think. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then we were just clowning on the Big Ten, of course, because that's what one does when looking at that. I go, power conference, elite teams. Right there. But then I was watching it. I like this guy, Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback for Indiana. Young Mike Vick over there. Lefty. He had like 90 yards throwing going into that last drive where they needed the 8 points to tie the game. And then from then in overtime, he was just slinging it left and right. And I was like, oh my God, I like this guy. And he's quick. And then, of course, had the most amazing, unbelievable, the best. That 2-point conversion. A little questionable call, maybe. Maybe gave him the benefit of the doubt, but
he was not in.
I think he was, though. See, we could argue that. I like this.
I don't think he was. I think the ball hit the out of bounds line before he touched the pylon.
See, I don't think it was touching the pylon, though. I think he broke the front of the plane with the ball because he had the ball sideways. So I think the nose of the ball was over the plane because the pylon wasn't on the front corner of the plane either. which was a little weird. You know, it was like there was a little bit of white in front of where the pylon was on the line.
I feel like that back end zone cam, I feel like had the best view, and to me with that cam, it looked like he definitely it looked like the ball was on the outside of the pylon, on the out of bounds side. But I mean, that's why we're arguing.
Yes,
it was.
They spent it,
and that's why the call on the field was going to be,
upheld,
regardless. Yeah, regardless of what, if they looked at it or not, the referee, whatever he was going to say, that was going to be.
Maybe if that game's in Penn State, they call him short, but I almost give it to him for the athletic effort. I thought he was going to be nowhere close to it when he dove and went full spread eagle. I was like, there's no way. And I was like, oh my God. But anyway, I love it. You love to see Indiana upsetting.
And I love them going for two. Just,
great.
They have the momentum. They have the momentum, so might as well get it done while you're at home and against a top 10 team. Might as well just get it done. If you don't, well, whatever, man.
Well, they had that. They had that stat. They had the second longest losing streak against the top 10 team in college football. It was like since 1980 something. They've lost like 46 straight games, and I was like, oh well, that's how you kick that extra point. That's why that streak keeps going, because you playing scared. They didn't play scared. Yep. I love it. Of course, Graham texted me. He's like, "Hey, look at the Hoosiers over there in Indiana." I was like, "Yeah, young Mike Vick over there." He goes, "I like him. This kid's a hoss."
Hoss.
Yeah, even though his fiance is a Notre Dame fan, so can't even.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You like that then?
Yeah, you like that.
You like her already then, huh?
Yeah, and he was what was it? Oh yeah, the kicker for Indiana when he messed up the kickoff and gave Penn State a shot. He goes, "Yeah, he's from Valpo, where I live." And I was like, "Oh man, that's tough." I was like, "Do you guys not teach special teams over there?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're not that worried about it over here."
Clearly.
Yeah, just classic. So that was really fun. That was good to see Big Ten football back. There was nothing really else college football wise that was any sort of exciting. I mean, that was boring.
I still think they didn't have a great game, but I still think Ohio State's the best team. I really do.
Do you think they're better than Clemson?
I think they're going to be better than Clemson.
Ohio State's in a really precarious situation, I think. Because if they get one game canceled, they're really going to be... It's going to be tough to put them in the playoff, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely
if you only play a 7+1 schedule, a lot of the ACC and a lot of the SEC is going to have gripe about that, especially like Notre Dame Clemson. Because I think Notre Dame's actually competitive. I think Notre Dame could be competitive with Clemson. But I could be a crazy person. I don't know.
Yeah, you might be a crazy person.
They looked.
There's really only 3 teams that are even. I think it's 3 teams, and the rest are just decent. They're just okay. There's really no.
It's Bama.
Great team.
Bama, Ohio State,
Ohio
Clemson,
State, and Clemson. Yeah, and the 4th team that gets in, good luck.
Good. Hey man,
I really just don't think there's anybody else that's even worth playing.
What do you mean? A&M is clearly elite, Scott. We're clearly elite. We did not get beat by like 30. We did not get beat by like 30 against Bama.
Yeah, Kellen's still our quarterback. So once that changes, you can come back to me.
Oh, you're a big King guy.
I'm just not a Kellen guy.
Not a Kellen.
Just like everybody in College Station.
I think his time is running thin there. But hey, we with all our history with quarterbacks, we needed some consistency at the position, and he's at least been there for 4 years. Since we ran out 2 NFL quarterbacks after a year.
Yeah, during the Florida game when they said he was the all-time passing leader in A&M history, I kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit. But hey, I mean he's won a few bowl games for us.
Hey,
good for him. But
yes,
I'm ready for next year. With,
yeah,
A&M. I mean, obviously we're top 10 team right now, but
they should be really, really good next year. If King can play any sort of ball, they should be great because both running backs are coming back, which is the strong suit of our team. I think the O-line's mostly intact.
Yeah, I mean, also, like you said, we have 5 games coming up that we should be favored in every game.
I mean,
LSU maybe not, but I think the rest of the 5 we should be able to get done. But
I know it's a very tall task for us Aggies. It's a tall task.
We know who we are. We know who we are.
We accept our fate.
Exactly.
I did see projected bowl game was like us versus Okie State in the Cotton Bowl. I go, yeah, Yeah, again, and Jerry's gonna be. I'm like, Jerry's not gonna worry about COVID restrictions. That hoe's gonna be open. He gonna just sell that thing out real quick. He gonna make a nice pretty penny. Come January. But speaking of ex-A&M quarterbacks, I want to talk about the Seahawks-Cardinals game last night because that game was insane too. Like, what was up with?
Yeah, we had the World Series on the big screen, and we had that game going on on the iPad. So we had some double action. That was a great game.
That game really took a turn for some. Of course, it screwed me. I was playing my mother, who had Russell Wilson in fantasy, and he destroyed me and ended my chances of winning, which is a sad day. Shout out to Russell for ripping my heart out like that, and then still losing the game like a bum. But that was Kyler Murray's like introduction to the world. I think like major people who like don't watch football kind of saw like that was kind of the young man's coming out party. He was nice at the end there.
Yeah, it's funny how you say your bad luck against your mother. I had great luck because Kyler Murray's on my football team, fantasy football
there you
team,
go.
And Tyler Lockett. So I had a great game last night.
You were loving it.
Got me about 100. Got about 100 points. So.
Dude, I'm assuming you won this week in our league.
I sure did. Yep.
I'm gonna lose as the
highest point getter.
I'm gonna lose as the fourth highest scorer in the league. Barely. I'm barely gonna lose.
Fantasy football for you.
Tough, but yeah.
Man, Kyler. He's super impressive, man. I think he has 7 rushing touchdowns just already this year.
I saw he's on pace to outrun, outthrow, and score more touchdowns than Cam did in his 2015 MVP season, by a lot.
I believe it.
And nobody's kind of talking about him as the MVP as in the MVP conversation yet.
Well, when you're gifted a guy like DeAndre Hopkins,
doesn't hurt
from your boy Bill. It's kind of nice.
Hey, great that trade's really working out for Deshaun Watson. Okay, he's loving David Johnson in the backfield. Okay. It's really going well for them. Jesus.
Yeah. That's just another topic to talk about there. Bill O'Brien.
Tough.
Gone forever, but
gone but not forgotten. The damage he has done to the poor city of Houston will never be forgotten.
Yeah, also that when Budda Baker picked off that ball in the end zone and almost ran it back, but a guy named
DK
Metcalf, who is very large.
May not be human.
Yeah, hawked him down. I don't know if if you look closely, but Budda Baker, he looked back and looked, he's gonna stiff arm him.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I can't stiff arm that guy.
You're not stiff arming.
I'm gonna try and run a little faster. He didn't run faster. He got hawked down.
I do not think Budda Baker was running as hard as he could have towards the end of that thing because he was probably a little tired, but he also probably thought he was walking into the end zone. And then all of a sudden it was, oh shit! Here comes DK. And DK got his redemption from when Trayvon Diggs did that to him and punched the ball out. And then the defense got the stop, no points. And it was almost the determining factor in that game. I do want to see a DK Metcalf versus Tyreek Hill race. I want to see it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. It'd be completely different players.
I do think Tyreek has never run full speed yet, which is very scary to me. Because I think they clocked DK on that play at like 22 miles an hour, which is ungodly. And I feel like Tyreek, they said nobody's gotten that high yet. Daniel Jones tripping over himself was 21.8.
I don't believe that. I still don't believe that.
That's why
he was hauling ass though. He was at full speed.
Yeah, that's how you're going so fast. He ran over his shoes. My man ran right.
Yeah, that's what happens when the turf monster gets you. You're running full speed.
But hey, they got the chip in their pads that tracks that stuff. So maybe they're giving a little boost on the chip there. But again, they said so. Tyreek's never been that fast, and I was like, have I ever seen Tyreek Hill ever run full speed? I don't think so. Like he runs by a guy, and then he doesn't have to do much more running because he's already right by him, and he just kind of cruises in to the end zone. Maybe.
Yep.
I want to say he could probably get up to 24 miles an hour, which is something ungodly. But, oh, God, he looks so fast. I want to see that race. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I
think they'll make it happen. That'd be pretty neat.
Do it at the Pro Bowl. Oh, there's going to be no Pro Bowl this year. Damn it, there's going to be no Pro Bowl this year. Damn. We're getting screwed. But anyway, yes, Kyler Murray came back. What were they? They were down 10 with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. If that, 5.
Yep.
It was 5. I think it was 5 minutes left, maybe. Anyways, no time left. Got the 10 points. I hated that Seattle went conservative, and then the overtime was just a whirlwind of emotions. It was.
And I'm pretty sure all day long, me and Cody were watching, and there was just kick after kick after kick after extra point that was missed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every single game had a missed extra point. Am I wrong? Like I feel like every single game did. It was unbelievable, and then
there was a lot.
Then Zane Gonzalez gets and kicks the practice kick right down the middle, and
they iced themselves.
Not so good.
Kingsbury iced himself. Kingsbury took a timeout and he iced himself. Zane Gonzalez shanks it, so you're like, oh man, Seattle just won this game. You cannot just give Russell Wilson this ball. And then Russell throws the pick. And it was like, oh my God, what is going on? And then redemption, good for that. Good for Zane Gonzalez with the redemption. I do like to see a kicker redeem himself because he banged the game winner right down the middle.
Yep.
So that was a fun game. We need some more of that. I don't know what it is with this season in the NFL, but it's just like points on points on points, and I'm about it. I mean, Jesus. Anybody good? I mean, but what was it? Cleveland, Cincinnati, 37-34. I can live with that all day. Speaking of, rip to
overs, baby.
Rip OBJ, F you Baker. That's your fault.
Yeah.
OBJ is hurt. Cost me fantasy. Son of a bitch.
And it was actually funny. I was going to trade Cameron for OBJ, so I'm glad that didn't.
Oh, that's a good save for you. That is that's a that would have been Cameron's luck.
Maybe for OBJ, it's just stick it out. Hopefully, he gets healthy, but maybe they trade him away and get him out of there because he does not need to be in Cleveland.
The offense actually looked better without OBJ. Baker, I don't know, looked more comfortable. But then again, you'd be surprised. He threw 5 touchdowns. Okay, that's like a boosted-ass number. He only threw the ball 28 times for 297 yards. That's nothing crazy with that many points they scored. So he stuck to the formula. That's the formula, I said. Nothing over 30.
Yeah, I think just having that one less diva on the field always helps too. Just not having to spread the ball to every single diva out there. And
we say diva. OBJ has been so well behaved in Cleveland. He's been so well behaved.
Yeah, but I mean, he's already that's already his forte. It's already his thing. That's what he's been known. Coming from the Giants as being kind of being a diva.
Hey man,
so,
he just like
that's always gonna follow him.
He plays this game with passion, Scott. He likes peeing on the field after he scores touchdowns and fighting, kicking nets. Okay, it's just a passionate man right there. But I agree, it's probably his ticket out there. I don't know who could use OBJ. I'm trying to think, where would OBJ be a good?
Tampa Bay, maybe?
Yes, they need more receivers in Tampa Bay. Mike Evans is dead, by the way, in Tampa. I don't know what's been going on with him the last 2 weeks, so that's why they signed Antonio Brown, I think. They're working Mike Evans out of the offense. I don't think he works hard is the problem. I don't know. Tom Brady's a perfectionist, and he's very demanding. You just seen it. They lost that Thursday night game because all those penalties and sacks against the Bears, and since then they've had 4 penalties and giving up no sacks. Tom said, "We gonna fix this shit quick." I'm not about that.
They look pretty impressive. I didn't think they'd be that good. I didn't think they'd be a 5-1 team.
5-2. 5-2.
5-2. Oh, 5-2.
5-2. I'm loving them as my Super Bowl pick. They're only getting better. They're only gonna get a lot better. Gronk's a young man again. You love to see it. He was peak Gronk yesterday.
Yeah, pretty good for blocking tight end.
Yes, only a blocking tight end. I'm just happy if I get the ball thrown to me. It's not part of the game plan. Gronk is a national treasure. Don't ever let anything happen to Gronk. Maybe Gronk will be our president one day. It'll be good to see. Everybody gets free bro tanks.
I'm down for that. I'm all about it.
I'm about that one too. So Diva OBJ. Oh God, how about Deshaun? Because you got rid of your other good receiver. Give him to Deshaun in Houston. Why the hell not?
If there's any place he could land, that's a pretty good one.
That's a good one. He needs help, Deshaun.
He definitely does. Poor guy. He started off with a terrible schedule though. First 3 games of what was it? Kansas City, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. His first 3 games.
Yeah, and then he played Minnesota too, who was also 0-3, and that didn't help either. We're terrible, but that doesn't hit yet. Yeah, schedule means nothing, right? And Green Bay, like I called fool's gold a little bit when they lost to Tampa last week. They played no defense ranked above 28th in the NFL. And it's like, yeah, schedule doesn't mean anything. No, schedule means absolutely everything. And the NFL's as balanced as schedule.
Literally everything.
And it's as balanced as a schedule as you can get to, which is even more, just how shit goes sometimes. Dude, that Steelers-Titans game, too, that was another stunner of a game. I couldn't believe
I mean,
they almost brought it back. I know we didn't want that because of Jaron, but
no, never.
They did. I think, dude, the Steelers are the real deal. They scare the shit out of me on defense.
I think I think the Titans are too, though. I think
I agree.
They're sticking to their, to their personality. They run the ball obviously with Derrick Henry. He's 6'8", 350 pounds.
Manimal. Everyone's a 4.40.
Even Ryan Tannehill's doing his job too. So
see,
they got AJ Brown who's making plays now. He's
stud.
He's starting to be a up and coming guy too. So I think the Titans are real.
The defense is a little questionable, but they stepped up, of course, late. Got a couple turnovers. Tannehill didn't look great when they couldn't establish the run game for the majority of that game. He was struggling to pass the ball. But I also think it took a little bit for Tennessee to figure out what you got to do to Pittsburgh. I think you got to kind of trap Pittsburgh in their own game with how aggressive their D-line is. Kind of maybe like run play action but not play action. Like don't go through the whole motion but have the running back action that way. And then you can throw a pass to the running back out of the backfield. And there's going to be nobody there. Because Pittsburgh sells out so hard, and I don't blame them. They're crazy good. They're scary, but I agree. We might get a rematch of this game later. I do like Big Ben. Big Ben's playing like a young man. He's like, I heard this comparison today, and I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever heard. So Big Ben's like a game manager quarterback, but he kind of doesn't know he's a game manager. So maybe he had a couple. Maybe he had like 5 beers before the game, and so he's been game managing, taking care of business, and then he's like, screw it, I'm gonna sling it downfield. And so he's better than a game manager because he can make those throws, but then sometimes he can not make those throws. So he's like a gunslinging game manager, and I heard that today. I was geeking. I was like, yeah, I could see Big Ben slinging 5 beers before the game anyway. So
that totally makes sense. Like he just he lets it loose sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't pan out. Not
a great idea, Ben. He's like, I don't think Ben realizes his limitations. I'm like, does Ben have any limitations? He's a peak physical fitness of a human being. I mean, I wish he'd grow the beard back to look like Fitzpatrick. I mean, he's an outstanding character. He's had no off the field issues whatsoever. And
never had.
No problem. So yeah, he's he's a perfect model citizen there. So maybe how could they smear him about saying, yeah, he's probably drinking 5 beers before the game and just slinging it?
He's a complete role model, clearly.
Oh God, that's mean. That's mean. We shouldn't troll. We shouldn't troll suspect people like that. Oh my God. Drew.
It's more fun.
Oh God. Oh, another thing I want to bring up. We talked about the guy for Penn State falling into the end zone, because the defense let him score and he didn't do that.
Oh boy, yeah.
Atlanta and Detroit, the exact same thing happened, and both teams lost. Both teams lost because of it. That was insane.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. Usually they get a break, and usually that doesn't affect the game, but 2 times in 1 week. But I mean, the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, what are you gonna do?
They are the Falcons.
That's who they are. That's who they are.
They are the Falcons. But the Lions are the Lions too. The Lions blow leads as good as anybody.
Yep.
So I laughed at poor Todd. And they said Todd had done it before against the Packers to ice a game. Like he just totally knew not to go in, slid down.
Yeah, I think I remember watching that game. He went down, and I think there's some big fantasy implications too.
Yes,
on that one.
Of course. There's always fantasy implications with old Todd.
I think he might have been getting over 100 yards too with that run. But
and a free touchdown. Oh, brutal.
Yeah, and a free touchdown. So I actually remember that a few years ago, or whenever that was. But poor Todd.
Absolutely brutal. You feel bad for the Falcons though? I don't really, because they're the Falcons. And welcome to the club, dude. It is a cesspool in the NFL in the standings. There's so many bad teams right now. It's pathetic. Let's see how many. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 12 teams with 2 wins or less 7 weeks into the season. That's so bad. There's so many bad teams, mine included, but Jesus. But
it looks like just like in the standings, just the top 2 teams are just running away from everybody or everyone in their conferences. Besides, obviously, the NFC East, but...
No, dude, the NFC lead.
That's
It's the best conference in football. Don't talk shit about the NFC. The NFC East is the best conference in football, okay? 2-4-1.
Who wants it less?
Hey, the Eagles had a nice comeback against against the Giants. The football team beat the Cowboys. We got Eagles Cowboys on Sunday night, so everyone's going to see elite gameplay right there. Elite. I'm ready for it. Carson Wentz is actually the one guy that's actually playing really well. So he's been playing a lot better. And then football team.
Will we see Garrett Gilbert for the Dallas Cowboys?
No, it's like a
I know, but is he going to get hurt?
He might.
And then Garrett Gilbert's going to have to come in?
No, they're going to run Zeke.
Will we see Garrett Gilbert?
They're going to run Zeke 1,400 times. Just you pay him enough money, just run the fat guy. He's going to
Wildcat? Every play?
Maybe Amari Cooper Wildcat. He can throw the ball, but I mean Zeke's got to work out his fumbling issue. So just give him 1,200 touches, and maybe he won't fumble, but he probably will.
But he will.
I don't know what it is. Maybe he ate too much cereal or something. He's not as tight as he used to be. It's a little bit more give on them biceps and stuff. So the ball
ever since he got that tattoo.
Yeah, he took it late. He took the feed me tattoo way too literally, and he started feeding himself, just constantly.
That could be it.
He just drink. He's like a CC Sabathia who used to eat boxes of Captain Crunch just for a snack, just an entire box.
God.
So maybe he's doing that. He's on the CC diet plan.
Might be. Cowboys are looking pretty tough. So
tough. And everyone loves to see it. Nobody as tough as the 2 New York teams because the Jets are the worst. I'm not sure the Jets could beat a college team. Not quite sure if the Jets could beat Clemson. Maybe a Clemson-Ohio State hybrid versus the Jets. That'd be a great game.
Maybe if New York and Clemson swap quarterbacks like they might, maybe they'll beat Clemson. But
maybe Sam Darnold with all those weapons and an offensive line wouldn't know what to do. He wouldn't know what to do. How about
and the Jets? Oh, the Jets have the Chiefs this week.
No,
what the line of that game is?
Oh God.
Guess the line of that one.
17.
19.5.
Oh God, I can't not take that.
This could be the
largest
spread ever
for an NFL game. Oh my!
It could be.
Hey, they covered last week against the Bills. Finally, the one week I don't pick them, they finally didn't lose by double digits.
Man.
How about we combine the 2 New York teams? If you put the 2 New York teams together, could they win the NFC East or the AFC?
It's a 4-3 team. Yeah. Maybe.
Could they win the NFC? I think they could win.
I think they could.
I don't think they could win the AFC East. A combine the Giants and the Jets together.
Yeah, no shot. I mean, neither team has a quarterback, so that.
Dude, don't be dogging Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is a fine quarterback. His offensive line is a absolute dumpster fire.
It's really all about where you end up. It's all about the situation. I think if Sam Darnold gets traded somewhere else,
he will. I think that'll be a steal.
And I think he will end up getting traded, but
how about
they'll get Trevor Lawrence?
You just kind of have to start over.
Either take Trevher Lawrence or trade him for 3 1s and 2 2s.
Oh, you could probably get 3 1s, 3 2s, and a guy. You'd probably get all that. But I've heard a couple of interesting spots for Sam Darnold, like Pittsburgh to replace Big Ben. I go, that's pretty good. And then I saw the Colts.
Yeah.
The offensive line needs some weapons.
Those are both pretty good.
So I do not think you should give up on Sam Darnold yet, people. I will ride that train because my Baker train is up and down. Some weeks it's over, some weeks it's back. Who the hell knows with him? I'm staying firm on my hatred for Baker from the beginning, just because. But he could be an efficient quarterback. But that's my only hot take on this podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Baker Mayfield's all right, but he's definitely
he's
definitely
average.
Not number one.
He's
definitely not a 1-1.
Hey, he's just average. He's the Cody Laughlin
Very
of
average.
quarterbacks. He's the Cody Laughlin of quarterbacks.
Oof.
Just average. All right. I think that's going to do it for us tonight, unless you got anything else.
No, that's it, man. I'm just pumped up for that game tomorrow because these World Series games have been pretty solid, especially with no fans. Well, hardly any fans.
Minimal
fans that are affecting the game that much, but it's been great baseball. I didn't think I'd watch it just because I didn't think it'd be very good, and especially if the Braves would have got in, I probably wouldn't watch it.
Oh God,
it's been a pretty good World Series, so I'm pretty pumped up for tomorrow.
I'm excited. I'm rooting for the Dodgers, hopefully, and then everything's been good. So that's gonna do it for us this week. Remember to subscribe, like this video, podcast, whatever you listen to it. Share it. We need to get the word out there. We need more people. I believe in y'all. And see y'all next week.